Let me create the project. New Angular 17 features, standalone files. We are not creating any standalone project. I don't need a server-side rendering. So the project is created now. So let me start the project. Let me check whether the project is up and running. So this is the Angular 17 project that I just created. So we don't need all these things, so I'm just removing everything. So now it is completely clear. Let me just add a nav bar, the navigation bar on the top. So this is the navigation bar. Let me just simply set it. So it added a line. Let me just push the content to center, and let's just highlight the name so that the content will be clear to see. So now we have this base project ready. So what we will do is, well, let me start with the ngIf. I'll first write the Angular 16 version, how we can write ngIf condition, and then I'll write the same ngIf condition in Angular 17 version. Let me just start with the div. This is Angular 6 way of writing the ngIf condition. I'll say if toggle message is true, I'll say hello and welcome. If toggle message is false, I wanted to display goodbye. Okay, but this is not a message. For this we need a template, and here we will say goodbye. Okay, now that, so in this condition, if toggle message is true, it will display this particular value, and if toggle message is false, it will display goodbye, this particular message. Let me just add this in the TypeScript file. Okay, there is something wrong. Let's see. Goodbye does not exist on the type. Okay. Okay. Now it is rendered. So let me just set this message properly. Let's set it. Let's just increase the font style to see it easily. Text align center. And we'll do the okay. I need to set this like ID. Now it will render. Let me just align this particular text also to see it properly. So now if toggle message is true, it will display this particular message, and if toggle message is false, it will go to goodbye template and it will display goodbye. Okay, so this is how the if condition we used to write in previous Angular 16 version. If you see right now, this particular message is displayed, the toggle message, this message. Why? Because this toggle message is set to true. Now I'll change it to false, and the goodbye message should display. So now goodbye message displayed, right? So this is the Angular version 16 way to write the ngIf condition. Now we'll convert the same thing to Angular 17 version. How? So basically, in Angular 17 project, older version of Angular if condition still works. That's why it is properly rendering. Now let's convert this to Angular 17 version. The same toggle message, and if it is true or false, based on that, we'll simply cut this, paste it here. We'll say Angular 17 version and else message, else will display this particular content. Okay, now if you say goodbye displayed from goodbye from 17, both are same, but the way we are writing the ngIf condition is different, and it is in Angular 17 it is easy to write and read. This particular Angular older version was a little bit clumsy, and we have to write else condition like this. Okay, now we'll change it to true to see the other content on the UI. So this is how it will render. Okay, so previously we used to write ngIf like this, and now we are writing ngIf like this. That is the only difference. Okay, so now check how we write ngFor loop. To iterate elements and display on the UI, we use ngFor, and let's start with writing in Angular 16 version, then we'll write it in Angular 17. So let's just push it up. Okay, now in Angular 16 version, we used to say same ngFor let fruit of fruits, we'll add fruits on the other side. So now we need some list of values. Okay, let's just add only 2 fields right now, and to display it, this is how we display the value. Let's see. So now orange and banana displayed. Let me just set this also to be centered to view it. Orange and banana, now you are seeing. Also, let me just change the font size to see it easily. Okay, now you see orange and banana displayed. This is the version 16 way of implementing ngFor. Now we'll change the same thing to version 17. So it will be like it is much more easy with version 17. So ngFor, the same thing, name of fruits, and we need to add a track by name, and within this, as usual, simply we need to display the same thing. Okay. Oh, sorry, track by fruit. Okay. Now it will display. This is Angular 17 display. We'll just say 17. And if you want to center a line, again we need to use this div. Let's just use this div, plain div we'll use, just to align this content to center. Okay. Now these two values came from Angular 17 version. So this previously with version 16 we used to write ngFor, and this is the list, and we used to get each value out of it like this. With Angular version 17 we write the for loop like this, @for fruit of fruits, and we track this particular list by one of the value, which is fruit. Right now it is, since it is not a object format, let's change this one to object and see, instead of plain values we'll change this to object, like 1, comma, so first value is orange, sorry, we'll see id as 1, name as fruit name, like this. Let's add one more record. We'll say number 2, and it should be banana here. So let's see how we can set this. Now it won't work because it is object. Let's do this. In Angular 16 right now we have a fruit. This one has id and name. So id, and let's say what we used. It is name only. So let's say name. This is how we display. If you see, we displayed, this is version 16, and when it comes to version 17, fruit.id, we track it by id, and same thing we do in Angular 17. If you see, now this is the way to display in Angular 17. So overall, the display point of view, everything is same, just a minor change from ngFor to @for, and we give the same name, and it is very minimal change. It's not a completely big change when it comes to Angular 17 for ngFor loop. So now let's look at the switch statement. Okay, in Angular 16, the way we used to write the switch statement is ngSwitch we use the same fruit example, and within this span of maybe what fruits we have here, orange and banana. Okay, orange, so the switch case, as you know, whatever the value that is passed, only one of these values are going to be printed. and in the final else statement, no fruit is available. It should have a else statement, but within this there is one more minor change. ngSwitch case equals to 1. Let's copy. This is 2. Let's check. Oh, okay, sorry, I just added this ngSwitch, and the fruit is passed. Okay, we need to pass this fruit value. So right now initially we'll pass fruit value as 1, and let's see which one is going to print it. Okay, fruit ngSwitch. Okay, this is the problem. Okay, now it should work. If you see, orange, no fruit is available. No, this is not. Oh, okay, this should be the default value. ngSwitch default. So now orange is printed. Why it is printed? Because the switched fruit statement, fruit value is coming as 1. Now we'll change it to 2. The next value is going to be displayed. Now if you see, banana is displayed, and for suppose if you pass 3, okay, since there is no 1 or 2 or 3 is not going to match with these two, so this message is going to be printed. So no fruit is available. This is the Angular 16 way of writing ngSwitch statement. Now we will write the same switch statement in Angular 17 version. Okay, in Angular 17 directly we write switch and the same fruit value that we pass, and here within this each case will have case of 1, and if it is matching, the value will say span of orange, and this is one case, and second case 2. If case 2 is matching number 2, then we display banana here, and the final value, if nothing is matching, we will default the value to no fruit is available. Okay, now we'll say this is version 17 just for our understanding when we see it on the UI. 17. See, so now no fruit is available. This value came from 17 because the fruit value that you are passing is 3 and it won't match with 1 or 2. Now let's change it to 2. Okay, now it is changed to 2. That means this value should be displayed and even banana should be displayed. So this value came from Angular version 16 code and this one came from Angular 17 version code. So this is how the loops are changed in Angular 17. It is very easy to understand by just keeping the 16 version and the 17 version side by side and compare so that you can easily understand. Thank you. See you in the next video.